Good morning, everyone. This is David Blair, Crosshairs Trader. I'm glad you could join me today. I trust that you will have a great day both in and outside the charts. Today I simply want to go over the major indices and the futures. Today is election day. We've got a lot of things going on this week. I'm pretty much out of the market, waiting for the next opportunity to arise in the next set of trades to present a high probability opportunity. And us crosshairs traders have several things we've been looking at. But what we do mainly is wait on the market, general market, to give us a good signal, good go ahead, so that our risk reward is where we want it to be. So let's talk about the major indices, futures, and where we're looking at the market going over the next few days and where there may be a pause or reversal. S&P futures, nothing has really changed. We've pretty much had the same pattern going on for the last couple of weeks, and we've been talking about this, where the market is simply consolidating. We'll go up in the morning. Like yesterday, we were up 100 points, and by the end of the day, it's barely in the green. And you can see that with all of these wicks on our candlesticks. We start off strong and then end the day, and there's not that much strength going on right now in the market. But we do have an area of resistance that we're looking at. Continue to watch this. This is the highs from this year. So we're continuing to watch that. NASDAQ futures, as you'll see in a minute with some other indices, been playing out a little bit differently. The NASDAQ has been strong, broken out earlier in October to the year high here, and now is sitting here. Let's take a look. You see how there really hasn't been that much of a pullback. And when there's not that much of a pullback, it concerns me and causes me to either lighten up on my trades or not trade at all. Wait for a very high probability trade opportunity, because when there's not much of a pullback, a strong correction, fast, strong correction can take place. I'm not saying that's going to happen. It just alerts me to the fact that if I'm going to get into any positions, I need to be very, very careful to maybe lighten up, take a 1/3 or a 1/2 position instead of taking a full position that I normally would take, and allow the market to rest a little bit. A healthy market is one that rests, and this one has had very little rest right now. All right, let's take a look at the Dow. The Dow, you can see also, if you take a look at the weekly chart, we've got an area of resistance, of course, from the year highs that we still have been trying to break through and hold, but it seems like we can't do that just yet. And you can see that here on our daily chart. Got a lot of wicks in here, some dojis, trying to find some strength, and it just has not come yet. Okay, everything is pointing to bullishness in my charts and my proprietary software, but still there's some caution, and we still wait for the higher probability trades to arise. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ 100. Let's take a look at some NASDAQ indices first. Again, you can see where there's some resistance level, a zone from about 21.31 to about 22.23 that goes all the way back to the highs of 08. And we're just now getting into that zone after breaking out to a high for the year, of course. And you can see that here on the daily. Again, not much of a rest. Let's take a look at the OEX. The OEX, again, we're sitting on a level of support, However, we do have some resistance coming up at one of our major moving averages from the weekly chart, which is also going to correspond at this point with a price resistance back again from April. Starting to see some bullishness setting up long term. Again, we'll have to watch it. S&P, same thing. Got some resistance from a major moving average from the weekly chart. We pretty much have done nothing for 5 days in a row. Not much going on here as far as strength. So again, all of these indices, except for the NASDAQ, is showing some reluctance to move ahead. And even the NASDAQ looks like it's gotten a little overextended. But the Russell, let's take a look at the Russell, same thing. Nothing much has changed here. We have not hit our highs. We still got some resistance that goes back to May of this year. And then April is where we hit our highs. But you can see again, we've had about 2 weeks of consolidation, which is really what I like to see. I like to see some of this pullback. And this has had the best of all the indices. This has had the best consolidation and pullback, and that's the Russell 2000. It is setting up very, very well for a possible extension of the last move and a continuation. Let's look at the diamonds and the SPY. Not much difference here, but again, resistance. Would really like to see this continue to consolidate a few more days, get some more strength, and then bust higher if it will decide to do that. And then let's look at the SPY. SPY, again, you can see on the weekly chart is bumping right up against some resistance from our major moving average. We still got price resistance, and you can see that on our daily chart. The dotted line is the resistance from the weekly. We still got the price resistance, but we are holding some support, trying to go sideways. So right now what I'm seeing is an extension, large move, of course, that we've had since the beginning of September. That's easy to see. Hindsight's always easy. And we had that spring move, our fall move. Our biggest question right now is, are we going to consolidate as we did here and roll back over, or are we going to consolidate instead of this being a reversal of the trend? Will this be a continuation of the trend and move higher? That's what we're waiting to see. Technical analysis is nothing but hindsight forecasting. And what I mean by that is we look at what's happened in the past and we seek the forecast, what's going to happen in the future based on that past. Well, the past is the past, and the future can always be different, and usually will be in one way or the other. So will it be different this time in that it will consolidate and go higher, or will we do the same thing we did back in April and reverse and go down? We will be prepared as crosshairs traders for either battle, one to go up, one to go down, or we will wait for the consolidation to continue. Either way, we know that trading is war and that we must prepare our weapons. Have a wonderful day, both in and outside the charts.